What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have like and sub, and let's get into this. When last we left the Mandalorian and Grogu, they had retired. Basically, they had a nice little house, and that was basically the last we were going to see them until, of course, the inevitable movie where up until today, it was basically agreed upon that everyone's sources, we had all heard the same thing, that this was all leading to exactly what the third season had been going towards Katie Sackhoff's character, Bo-Katan, to be the Mandalorian going forward, and Pedro Pascal, the darling of Hollywood, being killed off, and because he's busy being Mr. Fantastic in every other starring role in Hollywood right now. So how could he possibly be with Mandalorian and the green fucker? But now we've got this. So this is from WDWPro, basically saying that everything we thought we knew about the Mandalorian and Grogu movie was true and then changed, specifically around Bo-Katan. And so here we go. This is, of course, WDWPro, fellow content creator. Been right on a lot of things. So this is certainly no Mike Zero. So obviously his gets taken with a little bit more credibility. And this is, of course, specific to the Katie Sackhoff character. Okay. He shared that Bo-Katan's character may have been set up to take the crown as the Mandalorian at the end of the film, and that seems to have been jettisoned now. And you can draw your own conclusions for why Favreau and company would decide to do that. But for now, it seems that Bo-Katan will sacrifice herself, apparently in order to save the Mandalorian and Grogu. That's a big deal, he added. And my suggestion of why they did this is maybe, possibly, someone saw the reactions to Ghost of Yote and saw how we're dealing with every single time you introduce a female girl boss. And I know Star Wars is trying to do that illusion that they've never had female characters, even though they've had a bunch of them and it's been led by women for the past 10 years. This might just be a little self-awareness that replacing your male Mandalorian with Bo-Katan wouldn't be doing anyone any favors. Or maybe it's all just scheduling and that has nothing to do with what I just said. Who knows? Furthermore, and this is tracks with the things we've heard, told that Luke Skywalker will appear in the film with a very young boy, a very, very young male actor. I'm not sure if that means infant. I'm not sure if that means toddler. I'm not sure if that means very young child. Based on timeline, I think we can assume that Kylo Ren is 5 years old at this time. Or actually, if they're assuming Harrison and they're assuming Han and Leia started banging right after Return of the Jedi, I actually think he'd be more about 8 right now. So either way, you would have a young Padawan with Luke, a young Kylo Ren. All roads lead to Jake Skywalker in the sequel trilogies, never forget. What I can say, though, is that the speculation I'm hearing based on attire is that this is going to be the first time you see Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren together chronologically. Of course, we've seen them in the comics that they retroactively added to try and cope out of their horrible decisions. That there might be some attempt to display how much Luke is a wonderful uncle and loving towards Kylo Ren and totally wouldn't stand over him with a lightsaber ready to kill him just because he had a bad dream. Next, he stated, and finally, folks, we're hearing that we're going to get some serious Jedi powers in the film. I can tell you that I have been given a heads up on who the villain is. Certainly, I'm not yet ready to bring that out. It's a pretty scoop. It's a really big one. I don't want to be wrong because it'll make me look really bad if we put that out there and get that wrong. Yeah, no shit. But I'm pretty comfortable on the scoops that we've gotten so far. As far as Jedi powers, he shared Luke and Grogu will combine their Jedi powers together, although Grogu is not a Jedi necessarily. He's a Padawan, not even that. But they will combine their powers together in a scene to save the day. That remains seemingly true. This will be the end of the Mandalorian and Grogu story arc. Flat out, it's over. Will they appear in the rest of the trilogy? Perhaps, but their story arc as a combined duo comes to an end with this film. No season 4, no season 5. That is wrapped up. Finally, he revealed Boba Fett might show up in this movie. Good, so he can show up and have Fennec Shand do all his work for him while he does nothing. As far as the claim that Mandalorian and Grogu will be the beginning of a new trilogy, that was rumored at the beginning of January. Jason Ward at Making Star Wars said, my source, the original source who first told me that season 4 would be a movie, told me that this is going to be a trilogy. And I'm going to add a caveat to that. that's just my additional sense on it, is that it's a trilogy. If the first one connects, if the first one is a big film, they'll go forward and make two. If the first one is $350, if it's Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny, then they're probably just going to do the two and then wash their hands with it. Those two films are going to happen. And of course, this is all apparently rumored or confirmed by Giancarlo Esposito during his Dragon Con appearance, where he said, as in the MCU, Disney will figure out how to join all these characters into one really great movie or TV show. That's my sense of where it would go. He continued, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have a new vision continuing on with the Mandalorian movie. My sense is that it's all going to converge at one point or another, and we're going to have another set of trilogy or of more films. Okay. So I guess the big takeaway here would be that Bo-Katan is no longer going to save the day and be the Mandalorian. She's going to save the day and save the Mandalorian, and that's it. Bo-Katan will die. No more Katie Sackhoff in Star Wars. Pedro will continue to be the Mandalorian for this movie and one more, apparently, unless it's really good, and then we'll get three. I don't think it's going to be really good, so those two, and then that's it. We'll just not. And the other one, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the Filoni movie that has Ahsoka and Thrawn and everything wrapped up, but there he goes. There it is. The Mandalorian will continue to be Pedro Pascal. Oh boy. Let me know what you think about all this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.